What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So, Michigan State basketball goes on the road to number 8 ranked Purdue and gets their first win at Mackey since 2014 with a 76-74 win on Thursday night. Now, this was a tight game, a back and forth game all throughout. I mean, each team only had a couple point lead. Purdue had a 7 point lead at one point. Michigan State got up to an 8 point lead at one point. But I mean, this was really close, back and forth all game. And when you look at it for Michigan State, I mean, really early on, it was Carson Cooper and it was Cam Ward off the bench. I mean, we're going to get into, the stats for everyone here, but Carson Cooper, Cam Ward really making big plays down low to start the game and kind of stabilize the game for everyone as, Jeremy kind of got into it scoring wise in the second half. Jax, he had a few nice plays, but was struggling still from three. Overall, Kurt Tang had an absolutely huge night, probably his best game in a Michigan State uniform, but just contributions all around from everyone. And when you look at Purdue, I mean, they were battling as well. For them, it was Oscar Clough early on, but TKR got his. Then Braden Smith came on late, just like Jeremy Fears did in that second half as well. And Jack Benter off the bench really got hot from three for them for a couple. But overall, this was, in my opinion, one of the best games across the Big Ten all year. I mean, it definitely lived up to it. I mean, it was Michigan State down 3 at halftime. The second half, Michigan State wins by 5 for a 2 point win in a top 15 Big Ten matchup at the end of February, just a couple days before March. I mean, what more can you ask for? And for Michigan State, this still puts you in a solid position. As for right now, you're still hoping for some backdoor way that you can compete for a Big Ten title on the last day of the season. But even if not, securing a top 4 seed in the Big Ten, moving up from that current 4 line in the NCAA tournament, moving up to a 3, maybe even a 2, depending on what happens. But this is a big step in that direction. And good vibes overall. I mean, you haven't got a win at Mackey in 12 years since 2014. With that, Gary Harris, Denzel Valentine, Adrian Payne. I mean, that incredible team back then, and this team goes into Mackey and gets it done in a big time spot as well. But before we do jump into this game, if you could just hit that like and subscribe button down there. We'll have more Michigan State basketball content on the channel, so just make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. So we'll start with Purdue. And off the bench, we kind of already started with Jack Benter. He had 11 points for them, was 4 for 6 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3. And they used him on a lot of, Michigan State was having trouble covering some of the ball screen replace action when they're kind of moving the offense going down and then someone's just trailing on the 3-point line, throw it back up and got the 3. That's why he was efficient from 3. He got quite a few looks from that, added 3 rebounds as well for them. Jakari Harris added 5 points and 3 rebounds. Omar Mayer, 6 points for them. And then Daniel Jacobson, 6 points off the bench with 2 rebounds and hit us 11 minutes as well. The starters, I mean, CJ Cox, 6 points for them overall. Oscar Clough, we talked about him. He got it going early for them, got it going down low, had some nice post moves. 10 points on 5 for 9 from the field, 4 rebounds overall. Trey Kaufman-Renn, 10 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists as well. Fletcher Lawyer, 8 points, 3 for 7, 2 for 5 overall from the field. That was kind of a key, the wings for Purdue, not letting them get hot from 3, while they did shoot a good percentage from 3 and probably got more than you would want if you're Michigan State. They were still just able to shut the water off everyone else. Like TKR didn't have 20 points in this one. So Oscar Clough didn't have 18, 20 in this one. So I think that was big, even though there's not, big scoring stats for both of these teams. Everything was all spread out. But Fletcher didn't go for 17 on 4 for 5 from the 3-point line. So that was a big, stop there. And then Braden Smith, as we said, he kind of got it going more in the second half, scoring the ball, but, passing the ball. I mean, he had a majority of his assists in the first half, but he finished with 12 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists on the night. He did have 4 turnovers, but added a steal as well. And, obviously he's one of the best point guards, not just in the country, in the Big Ten as well. I mean, this was, probably the 2 best point guards in the, not just the conference, but the country in this matchup with Jeremy Fears as well. So he brought it. He had a chance on that last play and just missed it. So, just overall, Solid game for Purdue, and they didn't really do anything crazy. I think it was just Michigan State made a few more plays, and when you look at it, 9 turnovers for Purdue. And to jump ahead kind of a little bit, Michigan State only has 6. So I think, the turnovers there overall, they didn't get to the free throw line a lot. So I think for Purdue, it was turnovers and fouling a little bit more. This foul discrepancy only 2, but when you look at the free throws, Michigan State gets 16 free throws. Purdue only gets 9. I think those are kind of some hidden stats to kind of look at because Purdue won the rebounding battle as well when we get down to some team stats. But overall, we'll jump over to Michigan State. And Michigan State in this one really shrinks the rotation, only plays 8 players. We didn't see Jesse McCullough in this one. We didn't see Trey Fort in this one. Denim Wojcik, he did get 4 minutes. Kind of clunky overall, but I wouldn't say that there was any major swings in his minutes, which is what we've kind of talked about for a while. If this is the route that the staff is going to go, you just can't have any major swings that absolutely cost you the game and complete momentum. There was a couple sequences there where I think he came in, I think this was the second half, he came in with a 3-point lead or a 5-point lead and it got tied or, something like that. It was nothing absolutely crazy, but I still would love to just see. I know we only saw a minute of Jordan Scott, getting to run the point the other game. I still think Trey Fort, kind of a different approach as he's more of a, score first type of, guard, but I still think he could handle the ball and get you into some action or get to something for the minute or so that you need to give Jeremy a breather. But yeah, I thought nothing absolutely crazy, but Cam Ward and Kurtang off the bench were 2 of the biggest reasons we won this game. Cam Ward early with the baskets, had that drive from getting it up near the logo, driving to his right, getting the high off the glass shot early, but finishing down low, tough finishes as well. He finishes with 8 points on 4 for 4 from the field. Did miss his 1 free throw, but 4 rebounds as well, 2 steals. Just overall a really solid game and one of the more important games of his year. Like, this isn't his highest scoring output, rebounding output, or anything, but just his energy he brought early on the road in a big time matchup, big time environment like this was absolutely huge. And then Kurtang, as I said, I think this might be his best performance as a Spartan. He 13 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3. They were big time ones too, 2 for 2 from the line. But his ability, they're not popping off the stat sheet, by any means. But when you have incredible rebounds like Coop, like Jax, like Cohen, like Cam Ward, for your guards like Kerr, like Jeremy, like there's not going to be a lot of rebounds there for everyone. But Kurtang, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and a steal. Like, it's the other little stuff that he's still continuing to improve on. And he had, his 3 rebounds, they were big in this one. And he had a big one late as well. Yeah, just really overall impressed with the overall games from both Cam Ward and Kurtang off the bench in this one. We move it to the starting lineup, and Jordan Scott, 34 minutes in this one, 9 points, 2 for 5 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, 4 for 5 from the line with 1 rebound, 3 assists, and a steal. That 1 rebound was huge as well. It was on the offensive side. I think from that is when you got the offensive rebound, got it to Kerr. He's able to kind of dribble in and shoot and get the foul. I believe I'm thinking of the right sequence there. But anyway, he got the offensive rebound, created an extra possession for Michigan State. And, that's why the staff is trusting him. 34 minutes in this one as a freshman. Big time environment too. And just because he is just solid out there defensively, offensively, doing the little things. So, another really solid night from Jordan Scott. Jackson Kohler still struggling from the field. 25 minutes in this one, 8 points, 3 for 10 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3, 1 for 2 from the line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a turnover, and a steal. There was one kind of sequence that Jax had 2 looks at a 3, and you kind of just, it kind of felt like it was in his legs a little bit because the shots were so short. Or not so short. It's not like he airballed them, just hit the front of the rim. But, he had a shot at a 3, got the offensive rebound, came back out, and Jax just, I love that he keeps on firing. But really, it's been since the West Coast trip that, hasn't been able to get that 3-pointer going. Really, over this next, last 3 games of the regular season and the Big Ten tournament, I think it's key. You got to start need to start going in for Jax to, for Michigan State to make a deep run in both the Big Ten and the NCAA tournament, because he's going to be relied on in some of these, tight moments. And we saw that offensively, that was still something. Jax still got the tied for the most shots on the team. So he's going to get the looks, needs to knock him down. We've seen him do it for the first half of the year. Just needs to kind of lock in here that last stretch of the regular season and going into tournament time, which I'm confident that he can. We've seen him do it, and I believe that he can do it. But yeah, tough night from the field, but overall still made solid plays throughout. Jax did. Then Cohen Carr, 31 minutes in this one, 11 points, 5 for 9 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, 1 for 2 from the line, 5 rebounds and assists, 2 turnovers. And obviously had a couple highlight dunks like he does every game. The breakaway one, windmill in game, was absolutely insane. Solid night from Cohen. There was a couple weird plays. His 2 fouls I felt like were kind of weird ones, but overall solid night from Cohen. Carson Cooper, talked about him early on. He really kind of helped stabilize Michigan State early. We talked about him and Cam Ward. He had 30 minutes in this one with 15 points, 6 for 9 from the field, 3 for 3 from the line, 6 rebounds, had an assist, a steal, and a block as well. I mean, they were doubling Jax down low on the block. They weren't doubling Carson, even though he just came off a career high. But, Carson, we know, isn't really a post moves like type guy. Like a lot of his offense really comes from, the pick and rolls with Jeremy, which teams have been doing a good job of taking away. He's added kind of that mid-range game to his, arsenal even more this year. But, a lot of this game and a lot of his points early on, and to keep Michigan State kind of in it as Jeremy was still getting into the flow and everything of the game, like scoring-wise and whatnot. It was dump it down to Carson. They weren't double teaming him. They did like once or twice kind of start to dig down, but he was just, solid going up, had a couple hooks a couple times, but then even just solid, like going up, off both feet kind of, and just a square shot, in close, and he was hitting them. So he was absolutely big, on the offensive side, helping Michigan State stay afloat in this one, and a big reason why Michigan State won this game for sure. And then Jeremy Fears, 36 minutes in this one, 12 points, 5 for 10 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, 1 for 1 from the line, and his one three-pointer that he made was actually the one that he got fouled on that sent him to the free throw line as well. So what a 4-point play right there. But 1 rebound, 6 assists to only 1 turnover. It was a very weird turnover too. But overall, I mean, Jeremy just controlling the game like, we've just become accustomed to with Jeremy, and, kind of meeting this matchup. Not that you want to make the matchup, just between Jeremy and Braden, the two best point guards, in my opinion, in the country. But, he made some big plays on both sides of the ball, I believe, and in winning time, which Braden was making winning time plays too. That's what made this one special. But Jeremy definitely helped make the winning plays for Michigan State to come out with the win in this one. And to be able to do it, did it fairly efficiently. I mean, 50% from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, and then do that with 6 assists, only 1 turnover. Just absolutely incredible. And love the video after the game too, running into the locker room, like celebrating, like that's what it's about. You could tell it meant something not having won here at Mackey in 12 years since 2014. So, and obviously with Jeremy being the leader of this team, controlling everything. Thought that was absolutely special. And just kind of overall about this game before we close it out with some stats, like team stats here. It talked about Michigan State, the way that they were kind of able to adjust with, they were really getting yacht essentially on the kind of little roll replace, or, with the action, moving the action and having the shooter come out, top of the 3-point line. They were getting a lot of straight on looks from there. They were able to adjust some things, close the gap there. We said Oscar Clough was a problem down low early. Then, obviously we didn't hear much from him. He got a couple opportunities later on, but he was really big for Purdue early. And then obviously the Braden miss, the good contest by Cohen at the end there. Yeah, but anyway, this was just an incredible game, and we'll look at the numbers. Michigan State 53% from the field, Purdue 49, 6 for 19 and 12 for 25 from three, so that's 32% and 48%. They doubled our amount of shots made from three, but they did shoot 6 more overall. But 12 for 16 from the line, 6 for 9 for Purdue, 75 to 67%. Fairly low rebounding game for both of these teams, 25 to 27. Purdue gets that with 6 offensive rebounds compared to 8, and then both had 19 apiece on the defensive side. 15 assists for Michigan State, 23 for Purdue. 6 steals for Michigan State, 3 for Purdue. 1 block to 3. 6 turnovers for Michigan State, which is absolutely incredible. We always talk being 8 to 12. That's well under that. One of the lowest of the season, might be the lowest or tied for the lowest of the season. Purdue had 9 on the year on the game. 19 points off turnovers for Michigan State, definitely a key in this one. Only 5 for Purdue. 10 fast break points for Michigan State, 4 for Purdue. Points in the paint, Michigan State, that's a key in this one too. 40 points in the paint compared to 32 for Purdue. We said Michigan State had a lead up to 8 at one point. 7 was Purdue's lead at one point. But yeah, just an incredible Thursday night here to get out of there with the win. First one in 12 years there at Mackey. And really set you up in a good spot. Now you are firmly in a position in the top 4 to get a double or a triple bye in the Big Ten tournament. Now, there's still quite a bit of work to go. You're in a tie, essentially a 3-way tie with Nebraska, who they have the tiebreaker over you for that win at the beginning of the year, beginning of January. And then you have the tiebreaker with the win over Illinois. So you're right there if everything stayed how it was, but obviously there's still 3 games left for all of these teams to play. So a lot can still happen. Next up for Michigan State is heading to Indiana Sunday at 3:45. Then you have Rutgers for Senior Day on Thursday, and then you go to that school down the road on the last day of the season on Sunday. So still a lot to be decided here over this next week and a half, essentially. Now, I am curious the schedule of the remaining teams that you are currently tied with. Nebraska, they play at USC and at UCLA, and then they close the season at home against Iowa. So a decent schedule overall to close it out. And then Illinois, I know they have the big matchup with that school down the road on Friday, and then they do play at home against Oregon and then close it out on the road against Maryland. And then Purdue still in the mix here. Obviously, even though just dropping, this game, they're still right in the mix here. They play at Ohio State on Sunday, and then they play at Northwestern, and then close it out against Wisconsin. So still tough games. Michigan State, definitely 2 tough games. Every game in the Big Ten's tough, but, when you look in terms of spread or who's favored, Indiana is basically a toss-up game. As of now, Bart Torvik has you as like a 1-point favorite in that one. You're favored by 21 against Rutgers for senior night, but, who knows, whatever. And then you're underdogs against that school down the road the last day of the year. So a lot can happen here, but as we said, Michigan State moves in the right direction with a big-time road win in this one, moving towards securing that top 4 seed in the Big Ten. Like we said, if you can maybe back into, get some help here and possibly compete for a part of the Big Ten title on the last day of the season, that would be even better. But securing that top 4 seed, moving up in the NCAA tournament standings as well. But anyway, that'll do it for this one. We'll be back before the Indiana game on Sunday to preview that one. But thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.